All right, now we're going to look at an example where we're comparing numbers and we're going to find the minimum number entered so far. So we'll enter numbers one at a time and we'll print out the smallest number that's been entered in the list. And we'll just do this 4 times. Okay, so we're going to have an input, so we need a variable. I'm just going to use n for the number that we're inputting. We want to input an integer. Then it's an input. I'm going to say enter a number. All right, now we actually need 2 numbers to compare eventually. We're going to start out with 1 number, but we're going to set up a second variable. I want to say s for small number, even though technically it may not be the smallest number, but I'm just going to use s equals n. So when we put in the first number, our 2 numbers are going to be equal. They're the same number. All right, so I'm going to print the smallest number is, put a space in there. Now remember, we need to convert our number to a string so that it'll print. So string, and we want that to be the number that we entered. Okay, so if I try running this, I enter a number 20. The smallest number is 20 because that's the only number I've put in. All right, so now we're going to enter another number. So I'm going to use the same variable I did the first time because we just want to overwrite that in. In fact, I can just go ahead, hit Control C, and just copy that. All right, now I don't want to set s equal to n. I want to compare the 2 numbers. I want to compare the s, which is what we've stored, and the n. Okay, so let's say s is our smallest number. That's going to equal the minimum, and then we want to compare the s and the n. So I'll say s comma n. And then I'm just going to copy this. So let's run it. We've got smallest number is 20. Then if I put in 25, the smallest number is still 20. All right. Let's put in 15. Let's go with 12. Our smallest number is 12. All right, so the code's working. So let's say I want to do this 4 times. I can just copy this. And just do it 4 times. I'll just put a space between each of them so we can see them. Whoops. All right, so that'd be the initial number that we enter, and then 4 more times. So that gives us a total of 5 numbers that we'll be entering. So if I run this, enter a number, I'll say 20. Let's go 45. Smallest number still 20. Let's go 15. Now my smallest number of my running numbers is 15. So I say 12. And 21. So out of all the numbers that I put in, The smallest number is 12. And we could continue doing this as many times as we wanted to. Now, eventually we're going to learn what's referred to as a loop. So we can put a counter in there and we can just put that in one time and just count the number of times we're doing it, so we don't have to just continually copy and paste the code in there, because if we want to do this 100 times, that's going to take up a lot of computer space and it's just going to take a long time to do that. So there are easier ways of doing this, but from what we've learned so far, this will work.